Okay. This did not work. I tried to pick up where I left off on the other stream. I don't actually know how I am supposed to do all that here. I'll have to research that a bit. Welcome to MudBrains TV Do-It-Yourself live streaming cardboarding Vader part 3 day 7. That's a mouthful. And what I'm focusing on today is the mouthpiece for or the front of the mouthpiece. And here I am actually trying to give this the kind of quality that I want for the whole build. That I want the whole build to have in the end. I'm still looking at the chat right now, and I hope that some viewers from the stream before were able to come over now. Yeah, I have to figure out what is going on and how I can like stream for a longer period of time than 3 hours and still keep what I've streamed. For I'm not locally recording anything here. The only recording is on the service of YouTube. Which means that I want everything to be recorded so I can produce time-lapse stuff and so on from that later on. Okay, I started to, or I finished the last video. I was putting on this brown paper bag on to the lower front of the mouse grill, and you will see in a couple of seconds or minutes how it looks. I see this stream right now. I'm going to give you a picture from above. I'm going to cut. Oh, here there's multiple layers of cardboard. I don't want that. I have to do incisions into the paper where I so I can like really fold it around the whole thing. This is like the basic technique. Just give it some small cuts every couple of centimeters, millimeters. This depends on how nice you want the curvature of your corner to be. So I'm probably giving it a few too much right now, or too many. I'm sorry. But I hope to get a good curvature out of that. Okay, now I will. Here I pre-bend the surface here, but what I want to do is to first lay down the paper that will cover the edge, and just then glue down the paper for the larger side areas. Here. Okay, this way I start. Now what is really easy is to rip a whole piece of this off for once the paper is a bit wet and you apply too much force in one direction. It is like very easy to completely rip it off, and that can leave a mark on the surface, which is not what we want here, or what I want here. I try to produce a nearly machined looking surface, or not machined, but maybe like plastic-like surface, a continuous surface. So I don't want the seams to be too visible, even though I'm producing a lot of seams here, but there's ways I can address them later on. And the main thing here, or the main goal, which is when I look at the edge from the front, and from here looks good. And I don't want this flap here to move around or to bend around the whole corner. So I'll cut it down, for I don't want this curvy line to distract the eye. Okay, I will lay down this surface now, or this part of the paper. Try not to use too much glue, even though this was a borderline too much. I will strip it away and put it onto my hand here, and then I try to have an as even a distribution as I can, especially towards the edge, and try to okay, there will be a little ridge in there, which I'm not all that mad about, because as I've shown in the previous videos, there's different versions when it comes to Vader's helmet. One with an extra crease, one without, and so here. I don't want to really work it too much. I don't want to put any emphasis on it, but I don't really need to hide it either. Okay, this is the same thing as on the other side. I will start laying down the paper strips or stripes or cutouts or for the corner, and this time I will I don't want to you know, I have to watch out once I got glue on my hands that I'm not touching the surface, or I can easily stain it, and I'm trying to get a very uniform surface. So staining it is not in my interest. And what I have to watch out for too is that once I have glue on my fingers, it is with this brown paper bags very easy to rip off pieces of the surface of the paper, and that leaves a mark that or I haven't found a technique to really get rid of it, except for in the process of painting in the end. But it's very difficult to get rid of it, because first I have to use some matte clear coat on it, and just then can I apply gloss coat. But I think I will demonstrate that in this build here. Oops. Okay, now to this flap, and then at least one side is finished. And here I'm trying to get rid of this so they're not hindering the progress. Okay, there's this here. I don't like that it's not glued down, so I will put some on here, and before I stretch that out, I just put some glue under there. Okay. Here, you must imagine that this, what I'm doing here, is actually the same process in which expensive packaging for maybe for some phones or whatever have been glued, and it's not long ago where each and every of those packages or cartons was glued by hand, and maybe even, I don't know, there's some of these iPhone or iPad, and whoever got all this fancy packaging, I'm sure that some of the stuff is still glued by hand. So, but the people doing that are like like robots, just and I mean just how fast they do it and how fast they have to do it. Here I'm nearly getting to the top here. This can be pulled down. Once again, I want to have like straight lines on the side. Okay. Welcome to every new viewer. Hi to everyone that tuned in, clicked in. I am in the process of finishing up the surface of the mouthpiece, or the top mouthpiece for Vader. And this will actually be the first piece of this build that will kind of show what the rest is supposed to look like. So what I'm aiming for. Okay, now there was so much overlap on the corners that I'm trying to minimize it now with some V-cuts here. Here, the only way to have no overcut here when I'm working on this is to, if I cut a stripe that is has the same width on the bottom and on the top, then it will be one that can be, when two of these stripes are next to each other, you can glue them together without an overlap. So as soon as there's a trapezoid form in there, you will have overlap. That's just so you can imagine, or you can predict what will happen once you fold up the edges. Okay. I try to, this still works. Or some scissors are having a really hard time to cut wet paper and wet cardboard and stuff like this. This here's a really nice scissor because it got here. I don't know if this will show up, but it got tiny teeth, and they really rip apart the material that you cut in with it. And that is great. I love my scissors. And now I'm one stripe after the next, and I am very interested for this part of the build to be finished. But as always, or nearly as always, or as quite frequently, this took way longer than I expected. Yeah, I imagined that would be able to do a lot more today. But that is not a bad thing, for this is actually quite good quality-wise. So I think this is a nice build, and if I can achieve this level of quality for the biggest part of the model, then I would be quite happy with the result. And as I pointed out before, this is like the single most complicated part on the Vader mask, or at least the most technical. The next difficult part on the outside, and I'm just talking about the outside, when you view the mask with the helmet on, would be these kind of ropey things on the side that lead to the front of the snout. Here, these here, but they're not really hard. And then there's, okay, the incision, the way it's done, and this fence-like structure. Here, but nothing really has the same level of detail as this mouthpiece here, or as the front of the mouthpiece. The thing that you just have to watch, it is like with a lot of times when you're talking to a person, you watch the lips, and just to judge everything they say. You try to watch the eyes and the lips. So, and with Vader, both of these things are covered, which makes it kind of scary to watch him. And then you get this breathing sound that is actually not very reassuring, which makes him such a cool bad guy. And because of this breathing sound, I think the eyes are always drawn to this mouthpiece. At least that's what I think. Okay, now I don't really know how far into I have to cut. I will just jump into the cold water. I will, do a star-like pattern here. But I will glue this down on the side of this nose indentation. But then I will cover it with the gray paper, so that the gray paper is what will produce the edge of it, the visible edge. And okay, like this. Now on the lower side, it was here. This part is already covered And why did I glue that down? That was just bullshit. Oh. Yeah. I shouldn't have glued down this lower part. Okay, I can't change it now. Yeah, I will try to come in on the edge here and try not to okay, I will do the same cut on the other side. And put that down here. And now, yeah, what do I do with this thing here? Shit. Well, I had such a nice surface, and that was the whole thing that I did before. I tried to and that was stupid of me. Okay, here this is okay, and here it's okay too. But that was completely unnecessary. Damn. Okay. No benefit in being angry. I just have to be more concentrated when it comes to this. So here, this is battle damage now. Yeah, I try to give it battle damage here too. Okay. These two things here, these two flaps, I mean, yeah, it is actually quite understandable that it takes so long when I start to glue certain stuff, certain areas of the model more than once. Shame on me, man. I hate it now. I'm obsessing over it. Okay, what I'm like trying to do here is just sometimes when you here, rip paper like this. This can be a really smooth surface, or if you glue this onto another piece, there's like a very minor edge there, and that's what I tried to do here, to like kind of hide that I just fucked up. Here, for every other side it would have been easy to repair it, but on this side here, because I was gluing this in one piece, all this grating there, it was like the only side that was really difficult to repair. And the only logical thing for me to do is to like really fuck up on that side. It is sad. Okay. Okay, now to blend in the surface a little bit, I will attack it with some glue and try to tap it in there. I try to blend this surface. So I'm just trying to hide my shortcomings a bit. And I mean, it's not that bad. For this surface is still one continuous surface now, and that was the part that was very important to me. Okay, this does not need to be glued in very far or very deep. There's I don't know if this is there enough glue under it. Oops. Here, I will cut them to length. Therefore, I only need them to be, I don't know, 2-3 millimeters. They should just be long enough to hold glue, or to be able to get glued down. And then I will take some gray cardboard or a wrapping paper, or whatever I will find that is not white, but represents, or at least has some appearance of iron. And there's actually no need that it appears as if it would be made from iron. It just needs to be significantly lighter compared to the rest of the surface brown here. For in the chat in the beginning, I think it was the first or second day, in the chat there were people asking if I'm going to paint the whole thing. And my answer was a very clear no, for I really want it to look like paper. I don't want to hide it. It is not that it's that I build my stuff by accident from cardboard and paper. That's a decision. And this kind of self-regulation that I like my what is it, channel rules, house rules, they dictate that color is just allowed as a tonal thing, so maybe white and black, and I used black, but as little as I could, and just if that like really made a difference for the whole thing. And here with this Vader helmet, is like the shape is so evident what it's supposed to be. I mean, here this is gray, and like everyone can immediately see that this is Vader, even though it is gray. And that's what I mean with just if necessary. For me, the iconic thing about the Vader helmets is not that it's black. It's the shape. It's here, as I said, it's here this respirator thing, or oops. This is stuff that sometimes happens if you're not, or when I'm not patient enough, and I try to finish off some edges, that I pull up paper that has not really been glued down yet. It's still on the drying process, and while pulling that up, it's very easy to rip it out, and that would have been like the next blow to my surface here. And as I've presented it before, now I will actually use this ripping of cardboard to create a thinner piece that is easier to put into the side of the build here. This was a nice rip. Okay, now just on the top, that I think this will blend in nicely. The edges will be visible, but at a very reduced contrast. And I don't really know how much of this part here will stick out of the mask. Yeah, I will show you after I Okay. Finally, there's some possibility of of finishing this somehow, even though it is far from finished. But just yeah, right now it's boring to cover this thing with more and more paper. Now I want to get the gray paper in there, and I might even exaggerate the thing in the top there a bit. Yeah, let me see. I don't really know if I should go that way. So what I'm thinking about is that here this silver thing is something like an insert into the mask, which would result in the following. Here, when it is an inset, it would be something like, okay, here, like this, and then it's the bottom is rounded out. What I'm thinking about now is to just carefully cut a line around this area. Or I will I will not cut this line now, but just after I glued on some gray packing paper, and to just give it the illusion as if it was an inset there. It might be a way to go. It might be. I'm not convinced either way right now. I think I will have to wait. How can I change my camera thing right now? This is bizarre. I can't change this now. Okay. Here, I think I will look what kind of cardboard I have, or what kind of packing paper, whatever. It's hard to find out, and look if I have no, this is not good for this purpose. Yeah, I will have to take a look around here too. But I'm like, back Vader will watch out. I think I give you this. So I will be back in a couple of seconds, hopefully. There's Vader. embrace them. And here's this. Yeah, I just need some gray. Yes, this is very light gray. I think I found some. Okay. I think that this might be the right color. This here is a bit more shiny, but the contrast is quite nice from this gray to the brown. And yeah, I think this is good enough at least to test it out. And I will glue that in, yeah, in the same technique I did it before, but I try to put it in as a one piece now. And then I will perform the cut that I talked about earlier to give the illusion as if this would be a piece of metal in there. So here I already altered the form or the shape of the nose a bit. So why not alter it even more? So I mean it. I don't want to build a replica of this helmet. I want to have a helmet that I like, and I can decide the proportions for myself. At least that's what I think. As long as it looks good. I will try to compare these two things. This is, I think this is even a bit lighter, but it got like no gloss to it. And here's at least a bit gloss. I will go with this. For now. Okay. Now, as I've done before, I try to get the shape roughly. Once I know the rough shape, I know where the midpoints will be. Here I will cut a bigger piece than I need, like this. Now I want to this is the top, the bottom is here. There's no problem if there's some kind of overhang. I will get rid of it. Once again, I am just yeah, I can get rid of all this here. I'm just looking for the midpoint here where it roughly is, and then I'm going a little bit above that midpoint, and this will be my direction in which I'm angling my cuts. Okay, like this, and now the front just needs to be a little shorter. And now I will try to put that in there, but I want the sides to go behind everything, and I will just use the glue on the inside of this thing and not on the top. I don't want it to rip any kind of surface off. Now, I mean, this will go all around. I can get rid of some material here, like this. Okay. This is supposed to be behind it. Exactly like this. The main problem with this gray paper here problem with the gray paper is that it is very delicate to use, for it will rip extremely fast. On the other hand, it's like really good to push it into edges and corners and stuff like that. I will just limit the length a bit. And just apply some more glue behind this piece. I'm really quiet right now, for I oftentimes rip this kind of paper apart. I don't want that to happen right now. Okay. this worked kind of well. Now I need to a very, very delicate thing to do here. I change that again. I will cut into this. Even though that might not be the best idea, actually. If I want to give the illusion that this is a piece of metal that is pushed in there, I think I should try my luck to bend this as far as I can. And hope for the best, maybe. If the paper breaks, okay, then I will try to use another layer. And right now, I'm just tapping the surface, especially there where it turned a little yellow. This is an indicator for it being like first wet, that the paper itself is wet, and that the ground beneath the paper is wet, and so it could like just break if I would put this on there and do this kind of motion. I could rip apart the paper. This seems to be working. Great, 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 great. So, I really want this to move around the edge, and what I will do now is I will cut around this. And I will cut, I will show it here. I will cut deep enough to penetrate the first layer of the cardboard. So I want to penetrate the packing paper and the first layer of the cardboard. Then I will deepen that this crease. We'll use some glue in there, smear it to both sides, and because one side will be gray, okay, and it will be in there, and the other will be brown. It should look as if it is a piece that is really pushed in there. And now I have put a lot of stress to this paper, and some portions of it lifted, some parts of it lifted itself from the ground. Now I'm just reconnecting them. I'm a bit hesitant to cut without being able to see the edge on the other side. For ideally, I want my cut to be right in the middle. And for that to be possible, it really helps to see both sides. Okay. Oh, there I went in very close. Maybe I will first just try to cut the gray paper. I think I need my glasses for this. Okay, I have to I reached an age now where for if I want to do some really precise stuff, glasses really start to help. I have to be very close with my whole head there, and here it's wonderful because it's like I don't know, like wearing binoculars. Everything is much bigger. This does not cut easy. I try to be as cautious as I can. But I think that these little kinds of details can really help make a difference. If there is stuff when you view something and each step you get closer to it, you see more stuff. That is a nice model then. I need new knives for my, maybe. Okay, this is a round knife. I think there's still some in there. I will switch them once I'm done with this. Of course, if I change it mid-cut and the knife moves completely different as opposed to before, I think I will just make a mistake. I try to curve it in here. Nearly done, nearly done. Oh, there started to rip. Now I have to push everything up here to just really see what I've done. Here, there is one edge. Okay, and for this now I will try a new knife. Whoa, this is that was like closed. One thing about cardboard is that it actually really dulls your blades extremely fast. For this is not like printer paper or stuff that is made to be a high quality paper that lasts for a long time and stuff like this. Cardboard, they tend to use all the leftovers. They're pushed into the cardboard, and there's even some little, very small grains of sand in there and everything. So the knife gets dull quite quick, and if you notice that the knife gets dull, just change it. You can sharpen these on sometimes even on cardboard. So, or if you got some the inside of a cereals box, this gray kind of corrugated cardboard. So then, because there is so much dirt in there, it actually helps to get knives sharp again. But yeah, try that. I always keep my blades that are not very sharp anymore, and then when I'm watching TV or something like that, I'm just very gently trying to get them back to where they were before. So I'll continue the cuts now. Oh, there's like that's a huge difference. And I think it is good that I really finished the first round with the other knife. For if I would have used the same force with this one, I would have just ran through the whole thing. Oh, this is this could be used in a commercial. It's that sharp, actually. I can cut like a tenth of a millimeter with confidence here. Very good, and I hope you can start to see what I'm aiming for. Oh, okay. Now when I now after I've finished the cut, I will start to glue this down. Therefore I will bring this up again, then use my tools to put the glue beneath it. Nice. Here I once again will use some kind of pellet, and now I will hey Samyang, yeah, still streaming. I don't know when you wrote it in the chat. I was like hyper concentrated now, and I'm trying to put the finishing touches onto this. Here, and yeah, I even got my glasses that I under normal circumstance I use them when I'm doing some electronic stuff, but here this is so small, or I have to be that precise, that the glasses really help. Okay, I let it rest for a little while, and then I will bend it over. Yeah, as I said, hi Samyang. Which tip did you mean? I don't know for what amount of time you've been looking. And now I carefully where this paper is brittle, just, I mean, you saw that it came straight up when I glued it in, and I was able to bend it all the way around. So I think that's very telling. I think this paper especially came with some shoes. Yeah, that sharpening thing was shown to me. I worked at a place where they printed newspapers, and it's like very long ago, and they always used knives like these to scrape off some stuff from the printing film. And there the knives got dull very fast. And then the guy used to sharpen the blades on the newspaper. For newspaper, paper is very cheap too, as compared to drawing paper and stuff like that. So there's a lot of dirt particles in there. Okay, now to the interesting part. Here, this seems to have kind of dried. Now I will cut the whole outside. So I already started doing that, but with this knife here it's much easier. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just like the cardboard here is a bit wet, so I'm more or less just pushing it down. But I want a real cut here. And then I will push the middle of the cut down, and especially the side where this gray cardboard is on, and then it will look as if it is an inset there. And that's like a really nice detail that will help make the model awesome. Okay, there's okay, I've nearly completed my my way around the gray insert here. Okay, I'm getting further and further away from the camera. Here, maybe you can see it now. The knife can like enter into the cardboard. And I'm still very careful here for if I by accident cut the outside, that would be like a giveaway to the technique that was used to create the illusion of this being really inserted there. Here on the top, the cardboard is still very, very wet. Okay, now I will try to push that cardboard to the inside. Yeah, I will. Uh-oh. Okay, I need to pay more attention. Maybe this is better. I don't know if you can see that, but it is doing what I hoped it would. I can really push in the gray paper, and it will look as if something has perfectly been inserted there. Whoa. I mean, I think I wouldn't spend that much time if I wouldn't really be a fan of Star Wars and of Vader. And so I don't think that Vader is like the best character ever, but it had such an impact on me when I was a child that he has like a special place. And all three of the old Star Wars movies do. And I am one of the few that I know that actually liked The Force Awakens. I think there was like pure fan service made for the next generation of fans. So I'm very interested in seeing The Last Jedi. Okay, does this show up? Maybe I can can you see that it's like really casting its own shadow, and it looks as if it would have been inserted there. So I just need to work a little bit on the brown side of things now, but I think that looks really good. Did you like Rogue One? It was not what I expected. So I'm talking about Rogue One now. But overall, I liked it. It was different, but for it being the first spin-off, I think it's an okay direction they took to make it different from the main Star Wars movies. And I mean, it was a war movie. It was nothing else. But some nice scenes in there. I actually liked that it was kind of dark. Yeah, here. I would know that you're making a Vader just by looking at the piece you're building. And that is what I've been talking about. That this is like the most iconic thing from the helmet. And that's maybe why I'm obsessing over it so much. For here, this will set the tone for my whole thing. And now when I like establish a certain kind of physical detail, then I have to pay the same kind of attention to all the following steps. So I'm like forcing myself to do a good job. Did you like Rogue One? So overall I liked it. I think the two, so I don't want to spoiler it for anyone, but the two computer generated characters were unnecessary. But aside from that, I liked it. And the Vader scene at the end is great. I mean, that's Vader. Oh, now I spoiled it. No. Okay. Everyone knows that it's the prequel to A New Hope. So, the last cut of Rogue One is like the first cut of A New Hope. And that's not a spoiler. I mean, here in the chat there's this there's the question, hype blue reason, how I got it so smooth. Actually, what do you mean so smooth? The that the paper that I glued on top of everything, that this is so smooth? Or yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you must mean that. You can see everything. I think tomorrow I can, or maybe I can do it in a couple of minutes. I'm going through the whole process in the videos from today. So day 7 is just building this thing, and I'm talking about it the whole time when I'm doing something, but it is just glue. Yeah, but before I, for example, put on covered it with paper, covered it before I covered everything with paper. I rounded the edges, rounded off the edges, so that there's here that light can be caught on the edges. For that's really important to make that shine. What do you mean with both? Both videos? Or here, I've tried some cardboard stuff after watching the video, but I'm having a hard time making it look less like cardboard. I think maybe you can just watch the 3 videos from today. I mean, here I'm still in this one, but I don't know, for another hour, maybe. And I think the 3 videos combined are a good introduction to especially that, to how to make it not look too much like cardboard. And I'm talking about it the whole time. And I mean, this is what I've built today. And this, and I'm explaining why, and here I'm explaining it on this knife, like why it's important to have rounded corners and how they catch light and how that reflects, and about the importance of this seamless surface, especially for this here. So I think that would really help. And if you like don't want to wait, there's one video on my channel. This is a cardboarding 201, or no, advanced cardboarding techniques, but there's not so many videos on my channel. So cardboarding 201, and that it's just about rounding off corners and showing different techniques for that. And I think that's what you're looking for. And today I gave the expanded version of that video. The video on the channel is just 4 minutes. Yeah, I think seamless. Yeah, the cardboarding 201. I don't remember the title right now. So here, what I'm doing now, here is I will press some glue into this ridge that I created, and in this way it will never come up again. So this is just to lay down the or to like really support the form here for the side of the cardboard. Always. Hey, you're welcome. Can I see that? Yeah. Okay, so this is really getting rounded off on both sides of the cut. And I think that this is what I wanted. Okay, just going over it one more time, left to right. Okay, this is cool. This is actually the first time that I have done this, but I will use this more often. And I mean, with the first time that I've done it, like to have two pieces of paper on top of each other, cut a line, and then indent that to give the illusion of detail and the illusion of me having like worked very, very carefully to include a detail like that into the sculpt. I like that. I really like that. There's some minor stuff here. So it's just when the top is looking very good, then I just want to make sure that the lower part is not a complete giveaway. Good. There's just a few little things left to do. Here, if you look to the inside of this great things here, there you can see here there's some lettering on the cardboard and stuff like that. So I will glue some paper to both sides of each piece, and yeah, maybe some paper here to just have a better connection there, but there I'm not sure. And what I will do then, and that will be the last thing for today, is to try some techniques for the inside of the mouse here, or the inside of this thing, where here there is this grate, or what do you want to call it? I think, yeah, which looks like a fence here, that's in there. And there I want to try some I want to test some approaches how I could build it for now that I made it a Mouthpiece live cast today. I can even finish it now. Yeah, I'm just putting on some glue here, for this was the side that I ripped off after I accidentally glued stuff on there. And what height is this? That's not much. Just I will cut me some pieces that are too big, but this way I can at least hold them. Oops. On one hand, or with one hand. And here, this double thing, which I don't like. Okay. Oops. Now I will put that in there and try not to okay, this is more difficult than I expected. Do I really want to use that on every thing on the inside here? I don't know. I don't know if this will help the model that much. I think I will just here correct the one here where there's print on there, for that's like really disturbing, but I will let the rest be, at least for now. But I don't see why I should spend that amount of time now doing it. For if I really do that to every single thing now, that's 8 pieces that I have to glue in there, and always wait until it dried and everything. Then I'm once again nearing the 3-hour mark. Then I would be coming close to the 3-hour mark again. And the consequence of that would be that I wouldn't have been able to finish this piece. And that's like not acceptable. So I have to finish this today. Okay, I'm here. There's this tries to come loose. There's still some glue left here. Okay. Is any of you guys watching boxing on, is it Sunday or Saturday? Saturday? I have to check that again. Well, was it 27th? No, it has to be Sunday, I think. Or maybe is it in the morning? I don't know. Will anyone watch it? So I kind of need external input now for the I'm in the 8th hour now. Very good. This got the right length, but I will cut this to a shorter thing now, for it was so difficult to Okay, thanks for pointing that out. I thought it was the 27th, but maybe it's in the morning of the 27th here in Germany. Well, that would mean it's just that it's like in 24 hours or something around that time. Can you see any, or have you seen any thing like, I don't know, what is it, Pacific time, Eastern time, Western time? Yeah, for me it's Saturday the 26th. And here it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, wait. Oh, 5 o'clock in the morning. So when you're on Eastern time, that's like 10 o'clock at night for you. Just do you have any, or can you tell me the time of the fight? For if it is today, or like in some like 24 hours, then maybe I should get some more sleep, that I'm really able to to stay awake the whole time. Okay, so it's 6 hours. Okay, now I will yeah, I sleep. But right now my schedule is just offset, so I will sleep after I finish this for today, and then I stand up in the evening, maybe, so something like that. But right now this is like a lot of fun to me to build this Vader here. Oh, it's a lot of fun to me to build Vader. So I'm like yeah, I don't need to sleep too much. And I'm trying to build a kind of fencing thing from this cardboard here. Yeah, and here I will try it like this. Just a very small strips of cardboard, and they should look good. I hope so. That it's not too cheap looking, but behind the mask, I think it can really work. Okay, there's a question in the chat. Have you ever gotten halfway through building something and then walked away from it for too long and never ended up finishing it? Yeah. One thing, and that's like very recent. I got one project sitting up in my shelf that needs finishing, and I started to work on it like with a lot of hours every day, or I put in a lot of hours every day, but then I kind of missed the point to finish it and have never really gotten back to it. So I'm still hoping that I will do it this fall. But yeah, you never know. So it's sad to do it, but it happens very. No, I think this is the first thing in years where this kind of happened. But there's so many projects in my head that I want to do, and that I'm always pushing back for I have no time. But in the end, no, it's not that I have no time. It's just that I decide to do different stuff. Here, I think the best way to go about this is I can hide it. Here, I need to glue them down on something and then put the whole thing in here. And maybe if I use this as a base for it and then glue the stripes to this base, and leave the ones for one direction, and then weave the rest in there. That might work. And this is small enough to fit in there. Now I will try to look at the angle, and it is lower. The angle is lower than the mask is. Now I will just go ahead and put this on there. And something like this. The first thing that's very obvious is that this piece of cardboard needs to be much longer, and that I will only cut it after I'm done with it. Okay. This one is too thin. The difference between the two of them was just too much. This might work. This might work. Right, maybe maybe there's more to see this way. So now I'm just eyeballing it, and I know what amount of space, or what, like square centimeter kind of thing I want to cover with it. So I think it's like one more on each side now. And then I will start to weave the other angle through there. Okay, one more, and then I can move into the other direction. What? Okay, maybe I need 2 or 3 more for it seems as if they would have or should have been even longer. So I try to push it now to the upper limit. Okay, yeah, this needs some okay, just to visualize which part I have to go over. I think it needs to here, I think it needs to dry a bit longer so that I can really weave these through there. I just try it. I have to start right here. I think this is going to look quite nice when this is behind this part. I am looking forward to it. Oops. Okay, for the next one I will put this here, like right at the beginning. Now I have to go the other way around. So this one will be on top and this at the bottom. Here, so for everybody that is wondering what I'm doing here, I have to be patient. I am building the inside part, or here this fence-like structure that is behind the grating of the what would you call it? The front of the Vader respirator. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, and I just try to weave it from small cardboard stripes here, and I'm trying not to rip everything apart. Okay, up, down, up, down. Like this. Okay. I think I have to glue it down first and then push down the other ones. For they like really want to push this thing to another position. This is a bit difficult for if it ends up and everything has a different size, it will not look good. So I have to try to be somewhat careful. It won't be 100%, but that's not what I'm after. But I want the look to be right. And this is still not really dry. And if I press it down too hard, then I'm afraid that I take away too much of the volume, but yeah, I'm not really sure. This was a down, up. This needs to be down here. Oops. Okay, this is absolutely the last thing that I will do today. For this is brain dead. Why am I doing this? What the oh. Here, the sun is coming up and I'm get through. As I said before, I need to like really pull them up. I try to have the a consistent width between them. But it starts to look really good. So there's just two more that I have to put in here. And it should be done. Then I just have to glue them all down somehow, connect them, and I think I will just put some glue drops on each intersection. Now I have to start with down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Trying to get the same distance on the bottom as the others. And just trying to hold on. So then I will have to, like organize them a bit. But I think I can end up with something that's kind of... Oh, here, this one changed its... No! Yeah, this was one of these cases where the glue just softened the cardboard too much. And the cardboard ripped. Okay. Yeah, actually that's a good point to leave. Well, it's actually obvious that I've said everything I could today. I talked a whole lot, and maybe 8 hours, or here closing in on 9 hours. That is a bit much for a live stream. But I just wanted to move along. I just want to I want to will it to completion. Okay, hold up, 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 oops, coming through. I drop some glue here. You're just gonna... Okay, cardboard is not really made for weaving. Is it called weaving? I think so. If I remember loom correctly. The LucasArts adventure. This here should be able to cover everything in here. Yep. That means I'll just have to wait a very short amount of time for this to settle here. Or maybe I can start on one side now. Yeah, I will actually whoop, whoop. What is this visible there? Yeah. And this will be here. That will be this, and this will be this. That should be everything that is needed to be seen right now. The fishnet kind of thing will be inserted behind the bars of Vader's respirator, and that will be the last thing for today. The last thing. And then, depending on the time the fight airs tomorrow, and my brothers will come by, a few friends will come by, I'm streaming in a couple of hours, or I will stream on Sunday. Now I will just I will start on the outside here. And try to get this right. And maybe it helps if I put some weight on it, but yeah, I'm not completely sure if this would work. Nope. And this one needs to move a bit up there, down here. Okay, this is just not the most exciting thing to do. The only thing that is like carrying me forward with stupid stuff like this is that I know it will look great on the Vader thing, but wow, this is a new low on boring. But maybe that's just me being tired. Or in the end, I mean, I could be excited that I actually convinced myself to really weave this thing. And I think that's the more productive thing to do. Okay. This one is very much resisting. And the thing is that this is actually quite demanding for my head, just to get the spacing right and not and trying not to get frustrated. Why doesn't this move? Okay. Yeah, it's quite a challenge. To do this. Unbelievable. Okay, this one looks wrong. That's okay. Okay, it needs to hold the ones down that are finished. Okay, that was the thing that I needed to do. Just clamp down the ones that are not a problem anymore. Okay, now I will just drop some glue onto every intersection here, and then I will give it a couple of hours to dry. There. So I'm just trying to space it out a bit. For these ones here are much tighter as compared to the ones here, but as long as it's kind of regular, that's good enough with me. So this is let's be on there. This is now good enough for me. I said it's good enough, but it's not. Tack. Okay, I'm dropping little bits of glue now. And last order of business for today is just to spread it around a bit. Hey, there's a mistake here, but yeah, I hope no one will notice. I'm talking like a drunk person, and I'm not. I'm just tired. Okay, there's some support by glue for this side here. Nope, too much. Yeah, what I'm doing right now is actually not the smartest thing. For I really don't like it when glue drips on the cutting mat. But here there's no way around it, the way that I set it up. That is a lot of intersections here, and I try to have every underpass filled with some glue that I push in there. It's actually quite a lot of underpasses here. Like this and like this, and here like this. Okay, I would like to thank anyone that watched the live stream and yeah, held out with me till the bitter end here, where everybody can might notice that I'm really tired. I have to really think about doing 3 times 3 hours in one day. I think that's a stupid idea. Note to self, don't do that. Yeah, if you want to know more about MudBrains, look MudBrains TV Do It Yourself. Look up the channel, maybe subscribe and click this bell icon here. Then you will be informed about future live streams and new videos. I would like to say good night or good morning, wherever you are, and hope to see you again. Thanks for clicking in, or thanks for having clicked in. MudBrains TV Do It Yourself Cardboarding Vader Day 7 Part 3 is over. I wanna say bye bye. Bye 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 bye.